Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Aries for November 2015. I'm trying on a new format that includes the continuation of making individual videos for each sign, but also includes the addition of a general November 2015 astrology, or whatever month we're talking about, all signs video. In the past, for the years I've been doing these videos, I've commingled the general transits with the ones just for you. And so I'm separating it out, organizing it a little bit better, but in order to get a full picture of the scene, you really need to also watch the November 2015 astrology all signs, because I'm not going to talk about a lot of the things in that one that I'm going to talk about here that is just specific for Aries energy. So make a note to look for that after you're done here in case you drift. You would definitely want to watch that. Also make a note to go to my website, aspiritualspark.com, and see my growing list of self-development tools that are super powerful and super affordable. Most of them are between $16 and $26, so there's something there for everyone, and if it's a problem for someone, I've pretty much covered it in these offerings. So you can check that out, and you can sign up for my free email newsletter and become part of my community. So what is going on as just a quick overview of the general story of November, and then we'll get into the specifics for Aries. November is the month that we have been waiting for a long time, especially Aries energy. You know, I have Aries rising, and I'm really much better at going than stopping or slowing. It's very difficult for Aries energy that is in this forward movement to spend so much time with a backward or retrograde focus. So this is the time that we've been waiting for to just blast ahead with everything, especially the first 3 weeks of November. Because the last week it's a little bit dicey, but the first 3 weeks are all green lights, which is like our favorite thing. You hit one green light, you hit them all, and you're totally in the flow, and you just go instead of stop, which is so much more fun, right? So we have most of the main dramas of the eclipse now past, and we're returning to whatever, or we're going into whatever the new normal is after the big news, whether it was great news or terrible news. There's kind of restoration of balance, or whatever the new normal is going to look like. We have Venus and Mercury retrograde energies all done. Yay, right? Although there's purposes to be served for that. Like I said, it's not as fun for people who have Aries energy. So that's the general overview, but definitely check out the general video for that, the November 15 astrology for all signs, because there's lots of details that I want to encourage you to watch, and ways to navigate to be your spiritual ninja in the times of challenge at the end of the month. Specific for Aries, we have strong focus on the 6th house. Early, middle, and late degree placements all have this strong focus on the 6th house. So we've been talking about this because Jupiter's energy is new there, and this is a long-term trend, a long-term transit. What we haven't talked about that I'll mention now is that the North Node is also there. One of my apprentices pointed out that I never talk about the North Nodes the North Node in the horoscopes, which is crazy because I talk at length about the North Node in my personal readings, because the North Node represents the area of highest expression in this lifetime for that individual. So wherever the North Node is transiting, there's special keys at that time for your highest expression in this lifetime in the field of experience that the North Node is moving through. So in that case, all early, middle, and late degree placements have the North Node in this 6th house as well. So still this Jupiter and North Node making long-term focus on the 6th house. And then we have short-term focus with Venus and Mars transiting through there, and the very special, very exciting conjunction of Venus and Mars on November 2nd occurring in the 6th house. And that's going to be true for you early, middle, or late. So what is the 6th house all about now that we have all this hoopla about the 6th house? The 6th house is about your diet, your health. It's about your practices, your daily practices. Meditation is in there, your regimen, whatever your regimen is. Medical diagnostics and procedures are there, mainstream medical things, as well as alternative medical things, acupuncture, yoga, things like that. I consider yoga a medical tool. That's why I mentioned it twice. It's in regimen, and then it's in a medical tool. So those things are all there. Also, the 6th house is the house of pets, or working with animals, or your own pets. And the 6th house is also about your daily surroundings. So if you work in an office, the sixth house relates to your office and the relations within your office and the situations within your office. If you work from home and you're home all the time, then that sixth house is going to be at home. It's things that if you go to a school, your sixth house is going to be at the school. You know, if you bring your kids to school, your sixth house is going to be there. So whatever you do every day, your schedule, you know, the things that are just your daily routine, it's called the mundane reality. That's all the sixth house. So we've got all of those things that I mentioned, short-term and long-term, there, bringing you the right practitioners, bringing you answers to enigmatic problems that have been long-standing issues, bringing possibly lots of money. If you're self-employed, a boom for your income. If you are, if you have a job that you work for someone else, you may get bonuses or side money that's coming in. Mars brings extra focus, extra energy. It's like that border collie energy I talk about sometimes, that it's hypervigilant. It brings hypervigilance into this space of the sixth house. Also, all early, middle, and late degree placements have strong energy in the seventh house. And this theme is only going to get stronger because all of the other planets that I just mentioned that are in the sixth house are going to either sooner or later get into the seventh house. So short-term theme, long-term theme of one-on-one relationships. Early degree placements have Mercury zipping through there. Middle degree placements have Mercury and the Sun. Some of you will have the new moon there. The late degree placements have Mercury, the Sun, and the new moon there in the seventh house. So again, different flavors of focus, but still focus. So everything about your one-on-one relationships, how you can make them better, what problems are there, what solutions are there, what opportunities are there, your romantic relationship, your business relationships, your client relationships, your important relationships that are one-on-one. Strong focus. The eighth house also has strong energy, and this is the other partnership house, but it's partnership with resources. So it's like the seventh house is the relationship itself, and the eighth house is the relationship with all your stuff. So very much both houses can relate to marriage, but the eighth house relates to the marriage part of your stuff and their stuff joining. So the earlier degree placements have the Sun and Mercury and the new moon there. The middle degree placements have Mercury and the Sun, and some of you who don't have the new moon in the seventh house will have it in the eighth house. And then later in the month, later degree placements will start to have the planets moving in here. So like Mercury will get there first, and then the other ones will start to follow over time. The eighth house is about debt, credit, inheritances, shared money. It's called other people's money. So money that comes from somewhere else, spousal money, family money, loans, you know, things like that. Or where you're merging money or collaborating or getting funding for something or from someone. That energy is there as well. The eighth house is also the house of deep esoteric mysteries or just mysteries on their own. So you might find, as there's extra energy in the eighth house, that you get really worked up about mystery novels. I remember someone posted one time when I was talking about strong focus in the eighth house, they were like, I all of a sudden had this strong fascination just like being glued to these mystery novels. And they had all this energy in their general horoscope moving through their eighth house. So that reminded me that even something like that could be, you know, how it's manifesting for you, interest in the deeper workings of things. So the new moon that is occurring in the eighth house for you early degree placements and some of you middle degree placements, the rest of you middle degree placements, the seventh house, and the later degree placements, the seventh house, that occurs on November 11th. So either way, your relationship sector is being highlighted with new seed planting opportunities. And since the new moon is also happening in the sign of Scorpio, which rules the eighth house, this energy of everything eighth house that I just talked about is where you want to focus your new moon wishes. Brilliant astrologer Jan Spiller talks about you having new moon wishes, 10 of them to be exact, and that when you center your new moon wishes around the sign that they're occurring, they go further. And so in this case, it's all about Scorpio. So you want to be out of debt, make your wish then. You want to get credit for something, you make your wish then. You know, you want to buy a house, you want to get funding for something, you want to get married, you want whatever it is. This is the time to make those new moon wishes. The full moon happens at the end of the month, November 25th. For you early degree placements, that will be in the second house or the third house, or very early, possibly in the second. And then the earlier placements will have it in the third house, but those early placements could also experience it in the second, and then the rest of Aries will experience it in the second. So it's like happening predominantly in the second house, but with a little bit of overflow into the third house for the early degree placements. So that whole, fruition, that coming to completion, that fullness comes either to a financial matter. For most of you will experience something involving finances, earned income, some material assets, fullness, completion, drama. Sometimes it's problems, sometimes it's an issue, sometimes it's super stressful, but sometimes it can be something comes in that you've been wanting, like you've always wanted to buy this certain thing, and then the full moon brings it to completion and it's right there in front of you. Full moons don't always have to bring in an emotion that's a challenge. Sometimes it's so awesome that you're just overwhelmed with yay from it. The earlier degree placements that may experience this fullness in the third house could be something related to car or vehicle or device, something involving communication, transportation, or a situation with a sibling or a cousin or an aunt or uncle could also be the focus there, need the attention at that full moon. So I can't see what's going on in your individual chart. If you'd like personal assistance from me, go to my website, aspiritualspark.com. You can see more about my coaching program. You can see more about working with my growing list of apprentices that are ready to assist you. You can see more about my growing list of powerful and affordable self-development tools, mostly priced between $16 and $26, that are just major works that can assist you, that I've made sure to price where everyone can get at them, so that you don't have to let your finances interfere with your conscious self-evolution. So check that out, and while you're there, sign up for my free email newsletter and become part of my community. If you resonate with how I do things, then you'll probably enjoy my write-up that I do for the month ahead, which is a perk that my people get. And you can do all this at aspiritualspark.com. So I hope you have a wonderful month. Take care. Bye.